What is up, y'all? It is me, back at it again, your host, as always. What's up, Riv? Coming at you with the 20th episode. That's right, 20th episode of the Right from the River podcast. How have you guys been? How you doing? I know it's been a little bit. It's been probably about a month since I've done any new podcast episodes, but nonetheless, we're here today, my guys, my gals, my theys and thems. How are y'all doing today? I know I already asked that, but you didn't answer me the first time, so I had to ask it again. Wow. Shaking my head. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So today, we're obviously going to start the episode off, right? We're going to start it off the way we always do with the beginning of the Bit Bong Rip. But I just wanted to talk about what we're going to be talking about today. That's right. Talkception. I'm talking about what we're going to talk about. But I'm excited. It's right around the corner. It is almost Renaissance season. That's right. The Colorado Rennaissance Festival is, I want to say opening weekend is this weekend. So it's going to be June 18th and 19th. So yeah, it's going to be great. Super excited. I love it. I'm a super geek. I'm a big nerd for like medieval era stuff, especially like fantasy. I love fantasy, like wizards and knights and dragons and all that nerdy shit. I love it. That's my cup of tea right there. So yeah, in celebration of the Renaissance Festival opening up this weekend and trudging along through this hot Colorado summer, I'm going to be ranking some of my favorite foods there. Some of the good foods there, some of the best foods there. And I wrote a list for it for this episode, and I forgot one of probably the most important, probably two of the most important dishes there. So let's see if I remember those while we're going through the list. But before I get too ahead of myself, like I said, we're going to start the episode off right. The tradition that we've been keeping strong through the whole show, through Right from the River podcast, all the way back to episode 1. We've gone through a couple of bongs, a couple of pipes, and a couple of chillums. But it's the beginning of the Bit Bong Rip. That's always going to be the title, forever will be. So yeah, today, in celebration of the just being back and doing the podcast again, woot woot, we got some runts. I can't remember. I think runts is... No, I remember. Runts is an indica hybrid. It's a cross between Gelato 33 and Skittles. So it's nice. You know, it definitely has... It's a hybrid, but has a little bit more of that indica lean. Personally, it hits me pretty good indica wise, like that. You can definitely smell and taste and feel that gelato through the runs. So yeah, like I said, before I start getting ahead of myself again with this, let's take a hit, y'all. Get your bongs, your pieces, your bits ready. And even if you don't smoke, hey, glad you could join us for this bit. Anyway, y'all, beginning of the Bit Bong Rip, episode 20, nice tasty bowl of runs. Cheers. I like it. I really like the runs. Honestly, that is just very tasty. So you can taste the gelato, you know, obviously, like I just said. I feel like the Skittles flavor kind of comes through on it, and it's Skittles with a Z, so no trademark infringement, no marketing towards children, none of that bullshit. Skittles with a Z. You can kind of taste that citrus note from that in there, but definitely get a lot of that gelato, that earthy OG kind of flavor to it. Love that. It's got a little bit of that like gas funk at the end there. But yeah, great fucking smoke. I think probably my favorite thing about it is it's just like so smooth. Like I honestly don't ever really feel like I have to cough my whole chest out whenever I smoke runs. And whenever I get the opportunity to buy some, that's why I get it, because it's super smooth. And honestly, I feel like it's kind of a slept on strain. At the shop that I work at, we carry runs in our lineup, and it's always like pretty damn good. Like even if it's not one of the best strains in the shop at the moment, it's pretty high up there on the scale still. But I feel like people sleep on it. You know, a lot of people that come into my dispensary, my dispensary. I don't own it. I'm assistant manager there. But the dispensary I work at, a lot of the people that come in for flower, they know what they're looking for already. They have specific strains in mind. They have, you know, their preference, whether it be like indica, sativa, nighttime, daytime, whatever. They know what they want for the most part. So people kind of overlook some of the other strains that they really haven't heard of before because, you know, I mean, I feel like a lot of us do that with weed and other things in general. You know, sure, you could try the 5 or 6 brand new options, but you know that the 4 or 5 options you've tried already are good. So why not? Well, why screw up a good thing? Just keep going with that, you know. But yeah, that kind. I love it. I love how I can just like keep steam for a couple minutes, and then I'll think to myself like, "Damn, you're doing really good." And then it's like I mentally like high five myself, and then that just causes me to like lose all train of thought again. And so I just sit there going, "Yeah." But no, so we're gonna get into it. Like I said, the Renaissance Festival is right around the corner. That's right. I'm gonna see if I can find some royalty-free medieval horns online because we need this to be like a Renaissance themed, a festive kind of episode. We need sound effects, is what I'm trying to say. So yes, what is it? Some of y'all might not be aware of it. Not everybody's a fucking nerd like me that's gone to a place like this, like almost every year of their life. So the Colorado Rennaissance Festival specifically is a medieval or like middle age Renaissance era themed like just event really. It's like a big area. There's like a designated bit of land near Larkspur or in Larkspur, Colorado, because every year that's where the Renaissance Festival is. So they just have like a designated land plot for it. But yeah, everybody that works there is in costume, they're in theme, they're all acting, like speaking with old English accents and things like that. It's super fun. There's lots of food. There's like there's like events that they do. There's like, juggling events, like there's like a hypnotist. There's a couple comedy shows. There's even like a big cat show where they have a bunch of like wild fucking animals on stage, but it's cool. It's just it's a fun time, personally, in my opinion. And even if you don't really get down with like the fantasy medieval middle age kind of thing, honestly, I think the best thing to go for anybody is the food. The food they have there is, oh my god, that is what I think of every year when I think of the Colorado Renaissance Festival. Like whenever I hear the commercials on the radio, they have like an iconic little horn they play. I'll see if I can find it for the podcast. But whenever you hear the intro to the commercial, I just fucking know. I'm like, oh shit, it's turkey leg time. Like it's steamed artichoke time. Like, it's great. It's fantastic. And especially if you're like me and you like to partake in beginning of the bit bong rips, the food's fantastic. It's super good food. They just cook it like over an open fire grill. So it's got that good roasted char kind of flavor to it. And it's a good ass time. And especially when you've been walking around all day in the dry, hot Colorado summer. It's on the side of like a hill, mountain kind of thing. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It's on the side of an inclined bit of land. So you do a pretty good amount of walking. It's a pretty big area. There's a lot of uphill, downhill walking throughout the whole thing. So it's good to get that food in you. You need that like greasy, like leg of meat to get yourself through the day. And so yeah, that's what we're going to be celebrating right now. I could go off, dog. I could probably do like, that actually might be kind of fun to do. But I could do it in parts, like the cool ass parts of the Renaissance Festival. And then who knows, maybe they'll sponsor me and I'll get some free tickets or something. Hint, hint, Renaissance Festival. But we'll keep that in the book. I might have to do that. Just do like 1 or 2 more parts along with this episode, just about the cool ass things that they have at the Renaissance Festival. But yes, today we're going to be covering the food. I've said that 4 times before I've gone off onto my own little tangents, but that it's like I say every episode at this point. You know what to expect when you come here. You know what you're getting from the episode. You know that we're going to get to the finish line, but we're going to make a lot of detours and we're going to have a lot of subtopics and subplots that may or may not get wrapped up before the end of the season. So anyway, see, there I go again. We're going to start this off just like with the rating system that I'm using. So a lot you probably see it online. A lot of YouTubers, a lot of TikTokers, a lot of online hip people, they use the rating system S through F. So it starts S, A, B, C, D, F. Just I can't remember where it comes from. I'm pretty sure it's from like a Super Smash Brothers game or something. Like I think the rating system in that is similar, or I don't know. But that is the system we're going to use. So S is the top tier, is what I'm trying to say. Long-winded way of going around that. So we're going to start off. We're going to start off a little easy, nothing too crazy. I know I mentioned a couple things already that are fucking top tier, but we're going to get more into those in a minute. I want to start off with the first food on the list is roasted corn. That's right. You can get just like a straight ear of corn roasted over an open fire, get that nice char, and it's pretty good. It's not bad. I mean, it's roasted corn. You know, there's not much to it. I think they might add butter and a little bit of salt. So we're gonna give that a C rating, a C for the roasted corn. Not just because it's corn, but it's like I said, it's right down the middle. It's not bad. Can't really screw up a piece of corn though like that. You just throw it on the fire until it starts turning a little black and on the outside, then you're good to go. So yeah, not too bad, but it's nothing you're gonna really write home about. I would recommend it if you want something that's gonna be a little filling and you don't want to necessarily tackle all of the meats on a stick they have available there. Then who knows? Maybe roasted corn is your first avenue. But like I said, we're gonna give that a C. So moving on to the next item. Next item we have on the list is the shrimp and chips at the Renaissance Festival. You know, I'm looking at it now. I gave it a B rating, but the more I think about it, I think I'm gonna have to change that to an A rating. Only that's for sentimental reasons right there. Just because personally, it's a tradition of mine ever since I was an adult and legally able to buy alcohol at the Renaissance. Um, you know, you walk around the Renaissance, it's a hot day, you want something to drink. Maybe if you're an adult, you want a little bit of booze in your system. Makes the walking a little more fun, makes everything a little more enjoyable. You can kind of riff with all the people that work there because you're a little tipsy, just a little bit, and it's a great time. But there's consequences to drinking alcohol in the dry, arid heat of the summer. You get tired and you start to feel a little gross like about halfway through the day. At least I do. I'm not exactly like the hardest alcohol drinker. I'm pretty lightweight when it comes to booze. So let that also be an indication point for this. But yeah, whenever I start feeling like that at the Renaissance, the only thing that comes to mind are the shrimp and chips. Now, the reason I gave them a B initially is because it's nothing too crazy. I wouldn't be surprised honestly if these fish and chips were just frozen in a bag that they got from the store, they threw into a fryer and then served up to me. Because more than half the time that I've gotten them before, they've been like room temperature. Like well, that's not true. A little warmer than room temperature. It's never like a piping fresh bowl of shrimp and chips. It's always, like you can tell it wasn't just made. So that's the reason I wanted to give it a B. But the more I think about it, is just the sentimental value just shoots it up to an A for me. Because, like I said, it's tradition for me to get it every year as an adult at the Renaissance Festival because I need something around 3, 4 o'clock to soak up all the mead that I've been drinking. You're drinking alcohol during the hot summer, you're going to feel kind of gross. And so that's where the shrimp and chips come in. It's both a deep fried, it's nothing too crazy. Comes with a couple lemon wedges, a little bit of a cocktail sauce, and you're good to go, man. It's perfect. It's not too big of a portion either, so you don't feel full after. It's fantastic. I start feeling a little gross from my 3 cups of mead. You get a little shrimp and chips in your belly, you're good to go, man. You might want to have another glass of mead even afterwards. So yeah, honestly, like I said, the rating initially was a B for the shrimp and chips, but just because it's been a lifesaver so many times for me at the Renaissance Festival with that belly full of liquor, I gotta shoot it up to an A. So congratulations, shrimp and chips, you're on the A list. I love you. Third thing I want to talk about is the pickle. Yes, some of you who have gone to or all of you who have gone to the Colorado Rennaissance before know that there's a pickle cart. Dude who literally just walks around with a barrel full of pickles. You just walk up to him, give him a couple bucks, he gives you a couple pickles. Not a bad deal. But then you walk around with a whole ass pickle. You have this acidic, like very juicy, but like super just pickly, super pickly snack that you got to kind of deal with, And that's why I unfortunately have to give the pickle a C on the list because don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of pickles. I don't have anything against them. I'm not like losing my mind over them. I'm drinking pickle juice or anything, but I fucks with them. It completes a sandwich, you know? But whenever I get a pickle at the Renaissance, I feel like my thought process always starts off like, okay, this is a good idea. Like, this is pretty good. Like, I'm glad I did this. Then I get about 3 or 4 bites in, and you start getting that like mushy interior of the pickle, and it starts dripping everywhere, starts getting all over your hand. You start smelling like pickle. Then you start thinking maybe this isn't the great idea that I thought it was 10 minutes ago when I bought this fucking pickle. And then by the time you get to the last couple bites of the pickle, I'm just so sick and fucking tired of the pickle flavor. I just want it to be over. Like the juices are so acidic that the pickle has eaten your tongue almost as much as you have eaten the pickle at this point. And you kind of just take that last giant bite and just try to finish it as quick as you can because you want this pickle out of your life as quick as it came into it. You didn't think this was the exchange it was going to be when Pickle Man in his feather fucking hat hands you this device. So, yeah, I got to give the pickle a C because honestly, more often than not, it ends up being more kind of like a curse than it does a good snack for the Renaissance. Oh. Well, my cat Max, he disagrees with my opinion on the pickle, but that's why I have a podcast and you don't, cat, because you ain't got no thumbs. So yes, next item on a list, we got to rebound from that. It's not a lot of complaining items on this list. I think that was probably the worst of it altogether. But next item on the list is one that I actually forgot to write down, but since I'm remembering it right now, I'm like, ooh, let's segue that into the episode. Next one I want to talk about is probably my second, at least it's in my top 3 of best favorite foods at the Renn Fair, and it's the steamed artichoke. That's right. And I know a lot of you probably out there like, what the fuck, steamed artichoke? What does that even mean? Like, what? Like, you can eat an artichoke whole. Like, you can't eat every part of it. Like, not every part is 100% edible, but like, you can just straight up steam a whole artichoke heart, like head, like a whole head of artichoke, like leaves and stem and all. And you can just pick that apart and eat it. And it's pretty fucking good. You just like scrape the little meats off the end of the leaves, and it's pretty damn good, especially the way the Renaissance does it, because they take this whole vegetable, you're eating a whole head of vegetable, and they dunk it in butter, and they give you a mayonnaise dipping sauce on the side, and they make it completely 100% unhealthy. And that's the best part about it. It's so fucking good. Like, I was about to say, I don't even know what they do to make it so good, but it's literally because they give you heaps of butter and mayonnaise for it. Like, you throw it in the steamer, you get a bunch of butter and mayonnaise, and you just go to town on it, and it's so good. It's like an activity, If you're going with like a partner or like your family or something like that, you all can grab pieces of the artichoke, and then like everybody gets a piece of the heart once you get to the bottom of it. But I love the steamed artichoke, honestly. And that is why I have to give it the official first S rating of the show. That's right. The first S rating for the Renaissance Food Fair. Food Fair. The Renaissance Festival. That's what it's called. Foods. And it's because it's the best, man. It is a little messy, I'll be honest. You got to grab yourself a good handful of napkins because it's covered in butter. But it's just fun. It's good. It's you just sitting there getting like the little pieces of the meats off of the end of the leaves. Then you get to the bottom into the heart. Make sure you don't eat the pins though. There's like these little hairy pins on the inside of the artichoke. Don't eat that shit because it feels like you swallowed like fiberglass. But yeah, then it's good. I don't know how else I can say that. You take an artichoke, you pick it apart. Ta-da. But yes, S rating because of the heaps of butter and the mayonnaise that they give you. And plus, they always have it. I feel like some of the other foods run out, but they never run out of the artichoke. So I love you, artichoke. So yes, let's see. One sec. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot. I need a little bit of this Gatorade. See, that's pretty good. I got some Gatorade. It's the Arctic Blitz flavor. And I'm like, that's pretty good, but I wish I knew what the fucking Arctic Blitz was so I could, like, have an idea of what this tastes like or what flavor this is supposed to be. It's Baja Blast colored, if that counts as anything. Let that be your basis point for the fucking Gatorade. Okay. Sorry, I had to recombobulate real quick, but we're back at it, folks. I can't remember there we are. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about, it's a sausage on no. Fuck. Just throw the whole podcast away. I can't do the episode. No. The next thing I wanted to talk about was actually the steak on a steak. And part of me is like contemplating the rating I gave it, but I think we're going to stick solid with it, damn it. That's right. I gave the steak on a steak an A rating. And I know some of y'all out there are like, why the hell is that not on the S tier? Why is that not S tier to you? But it's just because, don't get me wrong, the steak on a steak is smacking. Every time I get it, it's always so tender. The seasoning on it is fantastic. They give it so much love. Even shit, if you're lucky, sometimes if you go towards the end of the day at the Renaissance, they'll let you choose how you want your steak done too. I think usually they cook it like medium well or something like that. But yeah, if you make it at certain times, you might get to choose how your steak is made. But the reason I leave it on the A tier and not the S tier isn't because of a quality thing. It's just because it's not the first food that I think of when I get there. Like when I first, like I said, the whole reason I love the Rennaissance Festival is because of the foods that they offer there. So when I first get there, obviously my partner Brianna and I, we want to look around at all the shops and stuff like that they have to offer. But the very first thing on my mind is, what am I eating first? What food place are we stopping at first? Just because that's just how it's done. That's how you do the Rennaissance Festival. And like I said, I got top 3. I gotta be honest, steak on a steak is number 4. It's just because the other things I think are just so good that they just happen to fill the space up before it. Not because I think the steak on a steak's bad. But yeah, I still highly recommend it. That's definitely my top 4. Like, that's my Fantastic 4. You still in my Fantastic 4 steak on a steak, so don't feel too bad about your placement. Highly recommend it. So fucking good. Like I said, always super tender, really seasoned. They put it on a big ass stick so you don't have to worry about tearing into it like a monster and it like fall into the ground or some shit. So yeah, I do recommend it. But like I said, it just takes number 4 in my list. And my top 3 is not that. So yeah, segueing into that, you're like wondering, oh shit, what's his top 3? Like we already know steamed artichoke is in the list. But we got 2 more. What are the other 2? I think you might... Some of you that know me, like personally, you already know what number 1 is on the list. But we're going to talk about number 2 on the list, which is the sausage on a stick. Pretty much, I mean, it's literally the same concept as steak on a steak. They take a piece of meat, stick it on a stick, you're good to go. But dude, the sausage on a stick there, next level, honestly. Because it has like the perfect like combination of that like crunch that you want in a good sausage and the juiciness too. It's just, yeah, the seasonings are perfect in there. It just all comes together really well. And it's fucking amazing. It's so good. And they always have it in stock too. Like I said, a lot of the times if you go towards like busier points during the Renaissance Festival, they're going to run out of certain foods faster. That's just what happens anywhere. But I've never, knock on wood, never had them run out of sausage on a stick while I'm there. And that shit is so tasty. So good. Just, yeah, it's well seasoned. It's got that nice crunch on the outside, nice juiciness on the inside. Yeah. Now I want a sausage on a stick. That's why it's number 2 on my list. My top 3 list, that's why you're number 2, sausage on a stick. Moving on. So next one, and the last one. So I actually split this list into 2 different sections. We also do have an honorable mentions area too, but we'll get to that in a second. So we have like, I guess more entree style foods, and then we got desserts. So I got desserts in the bottom, and then we're going through the entree style list right now. But yes, the winner, the alpha food at the Renaissance Festival, the apex of all the meats they have available in the Larkspur County area, has to be, hands down, the S+ rated, the turkey leg. The fucking turkey leg, people. Oh my God. Like that right there. If you don't go to the Renaissance Festival for fuck all, for anything else, go there for the fucking turkey legs, my guy, my gal, my theys and thems. It's, oh, I feel like not only is the turkey leg good because they cook it, it's like char broiled or whatever. They cook it over on a grill over an open fire, and it adds so good, so much to it. It's fucking amazing. But not just, or see, thinking about it, I get all discombobulated. I get all like flustered thinking about the turkey legs. But not only are they like super tasty, but I feel like it's just, there's something primal about it. They hand you a fucking leg of meat and they're just like, all right, there's your food. And you just gotta like tear into it. Just something about like gnawing on a piece of animal leg is just like very primal. And I feel like it's connecting with my ancestors. Because even I probably had some ancestors that lived during the Renaissance or medieval ages. And they were like, fuck, our turkey legs never looked like that. You know? So I mean, like, maybe they're smiling down on us too. But yeah, I love the turkey leg. The turkey leg is the reason I fell in love with the Rennaissance Festival initially. I remember being a little kid, and one of the first times I remember going to the Rennaissance Festival. I had gone there since I was a baby, since before I could remember it. But one of the first memories I have there is tiny little me holding a giant ass turkey leg, just going to town on it, just being in love. So that is why the turkey leg will forever and always hold a place in my heart, because yeah, that is just what solidified my love for the Renaissance. I'm a big fan of wizards and dragons and knights and kings and queens and all that shit, but it's the turkey leg that keeps me coming back, baby. Every fucking time. But I gotta tell y'all, like, the worst part about that is I just like gave y'all that love letter, that fucking monologue about turkey legs. Last year I went, they were out of them. They fucking ran out. Like, literally the first time in my 28 years of life. God, 28 now. But in my 28 years of life, that is the only time they've ever run out of turkey legs at the Renaissance. Standing in line, Brianna and I are probably like maybe fourth or fifth in line, and waited patiently the whole time up to that point. Like, it was a long ass line. We were there for a good minute. Get to fourth or fifth place, then one of them just goes, "Oh, excuse me, we're all out of turkey legs for the day." Because they have to stay in like character, you know, they can't break character. So they're like, "We're sorry, but you can't get a turkey leg." And we're just like, I was so disappointed. I was so mad. Like, I roll my eyes and laugh at the Karens of the world, the ones that like make a big scene about shit in public. But I was so ready to make a scene. I was like, bro, you're gonna make me cry. Like, you guys are gonna make me bawl right here, and you'll feel real stupid making a grown man cry. So yeah, that was a bummer. But to make up for that, I'm just going to eat 2 turkey legs this year at the same time, dual wield them. And then afterwards, I will destroy my enemies with 2 turkey femurs. Now I'll probably just gnaw on those too, because it's so good. I'm telling y'all, like I said, man, go to the Renaissance for the turkey legs. And the jousting. The jousting's pretty fucking cool too. Honestly, jousting is like my favorite non-food related thing there. Make your way over. Get yourself a turkey leg. Go get yourself some mead. Don't worry. There's a liquor stall area right next to jousting. Like, right before you get into jousting, there's like a stand that sells beer, ale, wine, mead. They got all the shit there. Get yourself prepped and go sit and cheer for one of the fucking jousters. It's a great time. I promise you. So yes, that brings a close to the entree list. Don't worry, the other list is not nearly as fucking long as this one. I promise you. We're almost at 30 minutes of the podcast anyway. I don't have like a strict timeline or like time limit that I'm looking for with the podcast, but I still don't want to take too much of y'all's time. Yeah, I do. I'm just kidding. So yeah, that's the end of the entree list. But I do have an honorable mention that I wanted to bring up because it just wouldn't feel right for us to continue on without it. Actually, I got 2 honorable mentions because there's another good one that I just didn't have time to talk about really, and I don't really want to talk about. But the first thing that I wanted to bring up, the honorable mention, was the cheese-filled pretzel. Honestly, I fucking miss this thing. It's just that. It's simple as that. I don't even think they make it there. It's probably, again, one of those things that they bought frozen in giant boxes at Costco and just reheated there. But it's a giant ass pretzel just filled with cheddar cheese. Then you get, I think you can get like a cheese dipping sauce with it too, or you used to. But it was so good, man. It was just the best. Like, before they got rid of it, that was always the, like, boozy snack that I had before I would get the shrimp and chips when I was like, while I'm drinking and stuff. But shit, it's been a good couple of years. That's why it's an honorable mention and it's not officially on the tier list because the cheese filled pretzel was discontinued, I think like 2015, 2016. So it's been gone for a good ass minute. But that tells you how much of a fucking foodie monster, like food eater. I don't even know. I don't want to say fatty. We're not body shaming in this fucking podcast. But that's how you can tell I fucking like my food because it's been 5 years since the cheese filled pretzel was even a thing. And I still can't forget that bitch. But even then, that's not the worst of it because when it comes to discontinued food I can't forget, I still have dreams about the 4-alarm chicken sandwich from Wendy's. And that shit was like 20 years ago, dog. That I remember being 11 years old, eating the 4-alarm spicy chicken sandwich from Wendy's. And it's been that long, but so good. Bring that shit back, Wendy's. God damn it. Sponsor me Rennaissance Festival and bring back the 4-alarm chicken sandwich, Wendy's, you fuckers. Okay, we're digressing. So yeah, the cheese-filled pretzel, it is an honorable mention. And I wanted to give it a rating too because it fucking deserved it. It was an A rating. Wasn't necessarily S tier because like I said, you could tell it's not freshly homemade stuff, but it was tasty, man. It was good. It's not too big, so it wouldn't fill you up and get you super full so you didn't want anything else for the day. But if you needed a little bit of energy before you hiked up to the little fucking rock climbing wall that they have at the Renaissance, well, it was perfect for that. Maybe you're trying to make your way over to a puke and snot comic show. You needed a little bit of fuel to get there, and the cheese-filled pretzel always got it done. So yeah, honorable mention to you. R.I.P. to the cheese-filled pretzel. I fucking miss you, guy. I miss you, my dog. Okay, so before I start bawling uncontrollably, I'm gonna actually take a drink. That's what I'm gonna do next. I need some Arctic Blitz in my life, in my face. Oh, well, that's good. Okay, what was I? Oh, yes. The other honorable mention I wanted to bring up is still there. It is still available at the Renaissance, so don't be too sad and down in the dumps. But it's the rice and beans. Honestly, it's a smacker. It's super good. You can tell that they season everything pretty well. I think they put little slices of like andouille sausage in there. Pretty fucking tasty. I recommend it. I sometimes don't get it because it's like really hot. And it's just a bowl of like rice and beans. So it like heat your body up real quick. And it's usually hot outside, but it's too tasty to not mention. I would give that a B. I'd give it a B because it's good. But if I don't have any during the Renaissance this season, then I wouldn't necessarily be super pressed about it. That sentiment might change since I brought it up before the Renaissance this year, but who knows? We'll see when we get there. So yes, the next list, the last list I wanted to bring up is the desserts. It's only 3 items on this list, so we'll get through it quick for you guys. The first one on the list is the sherbet in a half orange. I forget, they have like a name for it. I forget what they call it, but it's literally just that. They cut an orange in half, take a scoop of like sherbet or something like that, like Italian ice. I think it might be Italian ice, but it's not bad. It's just like a popsicle in an orange. I give it a C because I always liked it when I was a kid, but I don't feel like I ever remember actually finishing it just because it's just like a block of ice, like frozen like orange juice and ice. And you just kind of get to a certain point and just be like, all right, I'm done. So yeah, not too bad. It's refreshing. They have 2 different flavors. It's pretty good, but I give it a C because there are other superior desserts there, which leads to the most superior of all of the desserts at the Renaissance. And on the list of foods you must get there, I would highly recommend this one because it's always sold out within like 3-4 hours of the Renaissance opening. It is the cheesecake on a stick. So fucking good, yet so simple. It's literally just that. It's a piece of cheesecake dipped in chocolate on a stick. And it's fucking amazing. It goes so quick. Like I said, they usually sell out within like 3 or 4 hours of when the Renaissance first opens for the day. So if you're like on your way out for the night, they close at 6. So if you're heading out, it's like 5:45 and you're like, ooh, let's get a cheesecake on a stick. I wouldn't hold my breath, dog. Like, they're going to be gone. they're going to be gone for a good ass minute by the time you decide at 5:45. So that's why I give them the S rating, because not only are they fantastic, but they are highly exclusive. So yeah, get your hands on them if you can. Last one I want to talk about is the cookie ice cream sandwich. So fucking good. I think now we're going to leave it on the rating that I have it on. I gave it an A. It's fucking top notch. You can tell that the cookies are made in-house. It's like an actual like little bakery that they have there. It's right next to the there's like a Birds of Prey like nature reserve. They have like a little setup where they'll bring in like falcons and hawks and shit like that. But it's like right across from that. That's it. See, that's what I'm saying. Like that's how you could tell I've been doing the Renaissance since I was a kid, because I'm like, oh yeah, the bakery that's right next to the, like Birds of Prey, which is like right down the way from the stage they use for the big cat show, which is right next to like I go there a lot is what I'm saying. So yes, the cookie ice cream sandwich, I give that an A. It's a chocolate chip cookie too. So very tasty. I like it, but it can be a little messy. I think that's why I gave it an A, because it's always hot at the Renaissance and you got to eat it quick. And your boy has got sensitive front teeth. So I can't eat my ice cream super fast, damn it. So I just turn into a drippy mess with it. So yeah, A rating. Still love you. You still placed on the list, ice cream. So don't get too fret about it. Like just chill, my guy. Damn. So yeah, this is probably gonna go in the record books so far as the longest episode of the Right from the River podcast. We're reaching on 37 minutes right now, my people. But that's really it right there. That's all I wanted to share with you guys today. Like I said, the Rennaissance Festival starts this weekend. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I fucking should be at this point. Renaissance starts this weekend, 6/18 and 6/19. I'm gonna try to make my way over there. Maybe, I don't know, Braun works on Sunday. So we'll see what we're gonna do. But yes, if you guys happen to make your way over there to the Larkspur, Colorado Rennaissance Festival, make sure to try one of these foods on the list. And if you guys end up going and trying one of these foods, tell me how it was. Let me know down in the comments if you think my list should have been changed around or anything like that, or what your own list would have looked like. But yeah, I'm going to leave you guys here with that. Thanks for listening, if you're still listening at this point. Thanks for checking out the 20th episode of the Right from the River podcast. As always, it is your host, What's Up, Riv? And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Be safe out there. I love y'all. Peace.